Happy guinea pig! Go!
Hi, I'm Alyne and welcome to my kitchen. And today I'm going to be doing a recipe called homemade Bisquick. And the reason I'm doing this is I've got some recipes coming up that call for Bisquick. And I didn't want to have to go buy the stuff. Y'all, that stuff's expensive. Especially when I have all the ingredients here at home to make it with. Now, I found this recipe on a website called myrecipes.com. The recipe is by Darcy Lenz. And now I've never tried it, but we're going to see how it turns out. Now the recipe itself calls for 5.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Calls for 3/4 of a cup of cornstarch, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and 1 tablespoon of salt. And it said table salt, so that's the iodized table salt. And it calls for 1 cup of shortening or butter. Now I'm using lard. I don't use shortening, and I figure since I've got lard, I'm just going to use my lard. And the one thing it tells you to do is to whisk these ingredients together, all the dry ingredients. I'll put my shortening over here and do that in a little bit. It says to whisk them together to aerate them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my parts in my sifter and sift them together. Now if you don't have a sifter, you can use the whisk, which is what it suggested to do. Tell you what, I'm just going to pour that stuff in there right there, make it easier on me. Put part of it in here, the rest of it in there. And if you don't have a whisk, try using a fork or using your hands. Because it all works in the long run, just as long as it's all mixed together and been aerated. And when it says aerated, it means it's light and fluffy, not packed together. Basically is all it's saying. Just make sure you mix it to where it's all light and fluffy. And don't do like I did a while ago. I was getting my flour out, and I grabbed the wrong flour, y'all.
She got the self-rising instead of the all-purpose.
Yeah.
Now, see, if you hadn't told them that, they'd have never known.
Nobody ever knows. But I'm honest about things like that. If I make a mistake, I'm going to be letting it know I've made a mistake.
That just goes to show, we ain't nobody perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to make mistakes.
And
just be prepared for it.
Just double check what you're putting in your bowl. And if you do put the wrong one in, just find something. Put the flour back where you got it, or find something else to put it in. I had to find something else to put mine in because I had to open the second bag, and that filled my container full.
But it'll still get used on something.
Oh, yeah, it'll get used. I'm not worried about that. But just goes to show we all do different things. Sometimes we get it right. Sometimes we make a mistake. We make a mistake, we just correct it and go on.
That's it. Ain't no sense getting mad about it. It done happened, so figure out how to fix it. Go on.
Hey, there's times I put self-rising in where I'm supposed to be using all-purpose and didn't figure it out until after I'd done mixed up all the ingredients. I'm just thankful I figured it out before I mixed them all up. And y'all hear Piggy over in the background washing my dishes as I give them to me.
Hey, keep them caught up. You don't get behind.
That's it. All right, Piggy, there's that.
Good thing for her is she ain't got to do it.
And y'all can see how light and airy that is. I mean, that is really mixed together well. And it is super light. Now, next thing you do is you mix in your shortening, your butter, your lard, whatever you're using on that part of it. Now, it does tell you can use a food processor or a pastry blender or your fingers. And y'all know me, I'm going to use my fingers. I like and prefer that because I like feeling the texture to know where I'm at with it. and you want it to be like a sand consistency, or the consistency of sand.
That's kind of the same way when working with wood. You know, a lot of things you can use a power saw, or you can use a power planer, or something like that. But sometimes when you get down into the fine details, you want to use that hand planer or that sandpaper, just plain sheet of sandpaper, as you're going over the surface of the wood. Because you can feel stuff that you wouldn't feel using power tools.
Right, and this right here, I mean, that's why I make my biscuits by hand. That's how I was taught when I worked at Hardee's years and years ago, making biscuits for them. When I say years and years ago, I'm talking probably 1987 to 1992, so you're looking at 30 some odd years ago, almost 40.
Translation, folks, we getting old.
Translation, I was young. Well, I was a teenager when I started working there. Late teens.
Well, like I said, we getting old.
Yeah. I'm not old. I'm just getting in my prime.
Hey, you'll always be younger than me.
That's it. I'm always playing catch up to Piggy, y'all. I might not ever get there, but he's always 3 or 4 years ahead of me.
That's what I tell folks when they talk about reaching a certain age and what it's like. I tell them, I say, well, you catch up with me, talk to me.
Won't never catch up, that's for sure. And you see how that's looking. And
yes, Miss Joy Scott, I know that applies to me in reference to y'all as well. So, you know, the good thing about that is we always got somebody else that we can look to for their experience.
That's it. I tell you what, we've all got a life that we've lived, that's for sure. All right, now this is similar to what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be sand consistency, and I'm just going to rub my hands through it and kind of break that down just a little bit more. Now, this right here will be stored in my refrigerator. And that's what it says to do. Put it in an airtight container and store it in your refrigerator. And it can be stored for up to 3 months in the refrigerator. And y'all, this is my homemade Bisquick mix. And I'm going to put it in this purple bowl here with the lid. And my sand may be a little bit clumpier than y'all's, but you know, that's fine too. Because I'll break it down even more as I use it. But I'm going to do that. And now, let Piggy take that. This is my homemade Bisquick mix. And if Piggy will get me a picture of that. I just need the one.
There you go.
All right, folks. That's how quick and easy it is to make it. It takes longer to measure out the ingredients than it does to mix it together. But y'all have a great day. And I hope you stay tuned to the rest of the videos I'm going to be making with this stuff. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Where's my phone?